Tell you about one of the biggest mistakes we ever made on our deal, which just so happened to be this deal right here. Okay, 122 units in Statesville, North Carolina. Under promise, over deliver. See, I'm at our property here, Signal Hill Apartments. We bought in 2019, sold in 2022. And I'm looking back at our business plan. And our business plan projection said that we're gonna sell in year 5 for $11.3 million. We sold in year 3 for $13.7 million. Under promise, over deliver. We projected to our investors that their annualized rate of return would be 20.34%. In reality, 37.5%. Under promise, over deliver. That's done through buying, operations, and how you exit. Well, what happened was we partnered with a group, an equity group out of Houston. They were going to bring in the entire $3 million that we needed for the raise on this deal. Usually when you bring in a big group like that, you'll go back and forth with the operating agreement, you know, to make sure like, hey, this is the structure, this is the entity, this is how the returns will work, and this is back and forth process. We were going to close on this property on Friday, and on Monday, our attorney let us know that this investor group tried to sneak regular black text into the operating agreement. Standard operating procedure when you're going back and forth on a contract is called redlining. So we would create this contract, we would send it to them. If they would want to make changes, they would make those changes in red text so that we can know what changes they're trying to make, and then we can approve or disapprove. Well, instead of putting it in red text, they tried to sneak it in with regular black text, hoping that we wouldn't catch it. Well, we caught it on Monday, about to close on Friday. We have 6 figures of earnest money that is non-refundable on this deal. So, dude, we could try to kick them out. If we kick them out, we lose the deal, we lose our earnest money. We could close the deal, we'd get our earnest money refunded, great. Make a little bit acquisition fee, great. Then we'd be in a bad partnership for 7 years. That text that they tried to sneak in essentially said that we wouldn't make any money on this deal for like 7 years on the deal. Dude, that's a shitty position to be in. In that moment, I'm pissed. Like I'm chucking chairs, I'm swearing, you know. And I remember my partner Ryan, this is why partnerships are so important. My partner Ryan, in that moment, he was the one that was cool, calm, steady, collected, and he's like, Tyler, listen man, it does suck. We gotta figure out what the solution is. It does suck, but what's the solution? And that's what I needed in that moment. I'm grateful for that. We decided that we were gonna kick him out of the deal. We would rather not do the deal and risk losing earnest money than be in a bad partnership for 7 years. So we kicked them out of the deal. We told the seller on this deal what the situation was, and then we had to raise $3 million in 30 days. And I don't care how long you've been raising capital, okay? If you go to your investors, you're like, hey, there's no more room available, all shares are taken, and then you go back to them and you're like, hey, psych, all of the shares are available, come on in. There's some skepticism. We paid more earnest money up front to get a 30-day extension, and then, man, once again, had to raise $3 million in 30 days. And that was so tough and so challenging because of the time frame and the situation. And we were working on another deal at the same time, which was one of our biggest raises that we'd ever done, a 415 unit deal up the street. But I'll tell you, in that moment, I didn't think that that was a blessing. But now, hindsight today, I know for a fact that that was a blessing. What that made us do was improve our systems. It also made us, we decided to syndicate this deal. Syndication means bringing the multiple investors in instead of just one. Well, because we're doing that, bringing in multiple investors instead of just one, we're able to gain more ownership of the deal. We're also got a higher acquisition fee on the deal. And this deal was one of the best deals that we ever purchased. We bought it for $7.4 million, held it for about 2.5 years, and sold it for $13.7 million. Our investors' returns on that were very, very good returns, which allowed us to provide massive amount of value to our investors and also massive amount of value to us because we made more and we were able to bring in an investor base that we love and care for, and they were able to benefit from this as well. Now, one of the biggest mistakes we ever made, but I'll tell you, you can find a positive within any negative as long as you have the courage to look for the positive instead of just being a victim to the negative. To that group out of Houston, you suck, you son of a bitch. Okay, what's crazy though, karma is a bitch, man. Karma is a bitch, and this industry is a small industry. See, a couple years later now, I'm on the phone. Now we're a bigger operation. Now we have team members, employees who are handling a lot of these phone calls, and I get on a phone call with a potential lender for the senior debt on the property, which is when we buy a $7 million property, you're gonna raise, say 20, 30% for the down payment, and then senior debt is the big piece. My team members get me on the phone with this individual who wants to have the debt piece on a different property that we're buying. And about 5 minutes in, I realized that the people who were trying to vie for our business for that property was that group out of Houston who tried to get short-term gains instead of long-term vision. And so when I immediately found out who that was, I literally interrupted and I was like, hey, is this so-and-so? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, no thanks, man. Told them the story, jumped off the call, and my team was like, what? Like blown away. And I was like, listen, this business is a small business. Relationships are key in this business. You burn bridges here, that's gonna affect you down the road here. Don't ever forget that. All right, that's the video, y'all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for following along. And if you gained some value from this thing, let me know. Also, let me know in the comments what are the things you would like to learn. Once again, these videos are for you. So the more information I can gain from you, the more the value that I can provide for you. And then also remember to subscribe so you see the next videos, like, share, all those kind of things. And then always, damn it, always live with aloha. Peace.